And that was the Denzal Sinclaire Quartet. Wow, wasn't that amazing? Featuring Denzal Sinclaire, Nick Tateshi, Devin Hendron, and Jacob Woodsky. So thank you so much for your contribution to peace and to Peace Halifax this year as we celebrate our 5th anniversary. Just want to say a big thank you from all of us here in the Halifax Meditation Center for making the time and offering your talents to what we all feel is really needed at this time in the world, which is peace. So we're very curious, Denz, and we know we have a few minutes with you before you go. So could I just ask you to explain a little bit to us about how peace and music go together for you?
At this moment, you know, for me, it's about bringing peace to the stage and not, you know, years ago, I was much more dependent on the audience, you know, giving me feedback and worrying about that. But now my process is trying to, throughout the day, maintain, you know, an even keel, healthy attitude, positive attitude, and come to the performance already full. And so that enables, I'm finding it to come from a place of fullness and to give, you know. And so it's really made a difference, I've found, whereby, you know, Nick and Devin and Jacob and I, we're enjoying ourselves on stage. And that's what people come away with, I find, is the vibration that comes from the performer. And so being an instrument to channel that. And so, you know, I love, there's a definition of peace is silence filled with truth. So I really like that because, you know, for me, I think of it, if I have a good understanding of who I really am, or self-respect, you know, self-respect, respect, re-looking at yourself and giving yourself that energy, then you don't have to say much, you don't have to do much, you vibrate, you come from that place.
Wow, that's beautiful, you know? Dance. Well,
so,
you certainly vibrated with us today.
It's a work in progress, as you know, right? You know, it's like, you know, you don't win all the battles, but you win the war, right? So
that's a good way to look at it. Peacefully.
Yeah. Peacefully, indeed.
That's right. It's an inner war, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That awareness, you know, like you're aware one moment and then, you know, you're wondering, should I get the next iPhone? You know, do I need the upgrade? So yeah, just little niggling things like that. Yeah, it's a journey.
And the final question, so how do you maintain your peace? How do you keep this full state so that you can vibrate through your music?
It's, again, it's a work in progress, but trying to dedicate time. I mean, I have my couple hours a day of meditation, you know, average a couple hours a day of meditation, morning and evening. And then, you know, my little pauses, moments, traffic control type of thing, if you will, and check in with the self. And then power up that way when you're not doing too much action, and then try and maintain that while you're doing action. It's tricky, you know, the muscles start moving and then there's memories associated with that movement, and you next thing you know, you've forgotten why you left the room. But it's fun. The challenge is fun to come back to, like, the new perspective of having everything that you need, and that, yeah.
So as we end our Peace Halifax Day, words of wisdom for creating peace in our world. You're an example of it. Your music brings such peace. Any wisdom, final words to our listeners about, hey, do we stand a chance? Peace.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, everything plays out accordingly, you know, and what's happening in the world, on one level, it's very unpleasant, but if we think of how we're quite familiar with the phenomenon of cycles. And so we have the 4 seasons, you know, we have the 7 days a week, and so on and so forth. A lot of things that, you know, cycles that we're quite familiar with. And so, you know, although we might complain in the winter that it's winter, but we know that, you know, the qualities of the characteristics of winter, that it's cold, it's snowing, and it's not July. So in the same way, if we're, you know, think of all the things that are happening in the world, it is, if you can think of it as a season, it is a seasonal thing. And while this might be unpleasant, it is consistent with this season. I mean, there's that great song that comes from the Bible. I don't remember which book, I don't know, but it was made into a hit, you know, to everything turn, 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 you know, there is a season, you know, a time for love, a time for, you know, all that stuff. So,
it's time for love.
Yeah, we're moving into the time for love. Right now it's not, you know, it's darkness, it's winter, but spring definitely, without fail, spring comes. Without fail, day comes. So it helps if you can maintain that, knowing that everything, nothing lasts.
Right. Well, thank you for that deep optimism, and that it feels pretty certain the way you describe it. And anyways, the music was amazing, and it's lovely to have you with us. Thank you for coming, and thank you to all the guys for being with us as well.
They thank you right back. It's been our pleasure.
All right. So go in peace, my dear.
Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye now.